It's time for another WrestlePlanet news update as some Ring of Honor champions have been invited to AEW Dynamite. AEW is set to hold a major world title rematch, and Stone Cold Steve Austin is set to make his WWE return. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. This past weekend, it was revealed that AEW TNT champion Sammy Guevara and his fiancée Pam had split, this following a public proposal in August. Whilst the reason for the breakup remains unclear, this hasn't stopped people on social media making assumptions, leading to another AEW wrestler to deactivate their social media accounts. Many individuals have placed the blame for the couple's split on Ty Conti, who appears to be close friends with Guevara, with them regularly appearing on social media together, having even addressed rumors that they were, quote, screwing in the past, with Ty asking Sammy to show her body before giving a sassy response of, really? After receiving a ton of unwarranted abuse on Twitter, Conti would deactivate her account to let things settle down, with many fans concerned for her well-being. In an update provided by Conti's management team Expand, who helped the star manage her career as an influencer, would provide an update on the situation, and they said, "This is Ty's management team writing to let you know Ty is doing good, but will be stepping away from social media for a couple of days. In the meantime, we will be posting on Ty's behalf throughout the week. This includes normal posts as well as some sponsored posts that we have already recorded earlier in the month that must be posted this week. Thank you for reading. Happy holidays from Ty and her management team." As of now, there is no confirmation if Sammy and Conti are indeed dating, although it should be noted that even if they were, Sammy has said that he and Pam broke up a couple of months ago, and there's absolutely no evidence to suggest that an affair happened other than rumors. And speaking of social media, this weekend, two wrestling stars from different companies would clash on Twitter in a situation that escalated pretty quickly. A fan would tweet both Darby Allin of AEW and Cora Jade of WWE NXT, joking that they should wrestle in a skateboard match, with both wrestlers being known for their skateboarding personas on TV. Former pro skater Darby would take exception to the suggestion, dismissing Cora as a fake, noting that he is the real deal, and he would say, "Skating is a huge part of my life, not a fake character for TV." Cora would hit back at Darby by making a reference to allegations made against him last year during the Speaking Out movement, and she would say, "Being a good person with no abuse allegations against me is a huge part of my life and not just a character I play on TV." Both tweets would be deleted shortly after they were sent, and it's worth noting that Jade is a former tag team partner of Hawley Cromwell, who is the one that accused Darby, and she has also been feuding with Darby's ex-wife Gigi Dolan on NXT as of late. Earlier this year in April, it was revealed that former WWE Divas champion AJ Lee was set to co-write a new film for Netflix, which would be the sequel to a Keanu Reeves movie, 47 Ronin. Blade of the 47 Ronin, which is set several hundred years after the first, is now entering post-production, with AJ taking to social media to reveal that production of the movie has ended, and she would say, "We wrote a movie, and these superheroes just wrapped production. Thank you Universal, Tim Kwok, and Ron Yan for bringing Amy Garcia and me on board. Cannot wait to see the magic this amazing cast and crew brought to life. Hashtag Blade of the 47 Ronin, hashtag Netflix 2022. AJ is co-writing the movie alongside Lucifer star Amy Garcia, and the film will not see the return of the popular Keanu Reeves. The current plan is for the franchise to continue across multiple movies, with this one set for release next year in 2022. This isn't Lee's first endeavor in writing, having written her own biography, Crazy Is My Superpower, as well as a number of graphic novels, two of which were alongside her co-writer for the Netflix movie. Last week, WWE would hold tryouts at their performance center in Orlando, Florida on December 15th, 16th, and 17th, and a current Ring of Honor champion was present. ROH Women's World Champion Roxy was spotted at the event in a photo gallery on the company's website, alongside a number of other hopefuls looking for a WWE contract. This news follows the recent Final Battle pay-per-view where Roxy would defeat Willow Nightingale to retain her title, with Ring of Honor going on hiatus following the show with their entire roster roster free to sign elsewhere. It should be noted that she is scheduled to take on AAA Reina del Reyna's champion Deonna Purrazzo soon, and will make her MLW debut in Dallas at the Blood and Thunder event against Miranda Gordy, with this taking place in January. Whether these matches will happen will likely depend on the success of her tryout, although there is a chance that she will be allowed to finish her commitments should she be offered a developmental spot. This weekend, Dax Harwood, who is of course one half of the AEW tag team FTR, would address the possibility of the Briscoes appearing on AEW Dynamite this week for revenge. For those that missed it, last weekend FTR would invade Ring of Honor to confront the new ROH tag team champions the Briscoes following their title win at Final Battle, and the two teams would quickly begin brawling before being split by security. Many have speculated that the feud is set to continue on AEW television going forward, with Ring of Honor now on hiatus until April 2022. A fan would ask Harwood if he's worried that the Briscoes will interfere in their match this Wednesday before he directly invited them to Dynamite, and he would say, "Hell no, we came in their house, beat the shit out of them, and made them more relevant in 4 minutes than they've been in the last 4 years. They should come to Greensboro and give us their payday from Final Battle. I'm sure I could almost pay my light bill with that money." This tweet follows a social media video posted by the Briscoes last week, calling for AEW President Tony Khan to send them a private jet to pick them up from their cornfield, with them ready to head to AEW. FTR are set to team up with Pinnacle teammate MJF to take on Sting, Darby Allin, and CM Punk in the main event of Wednesday's AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash special, where it seems likely that we'll see the Briscoes show up for revenge. AEW President Tony Khan would make his weekly appearance on Busted Open Radio this weekend, where he revealed that we could be set to see a huge rematch sooner than we thought. During his chat on the show, Khan would reveal that despite his failed attempt at winning the AEW World Championship last week against Hangman Page, Bryan Danielson is still the #1 contender for the title, with the feud being far from done. And Khan would say, "I'll be honest, I'm excited for what's coming next between Hangman Page and Bryan Danielson. It's far from over. And I'll tell you this, Bryan Danielson is still the #1 contender. It's a rematch I'm very much excited to see." Of course, last Wednesday, the two men would meet in the opening match of AEW Dynamite Winter is Coming, with the title on the line. Neither man was able to put the other away within the 60-minute time limit, with the match ultimately ending in a draw. It seems that this result was to allow for a second match somewhere down the line, with many expecting this to happen at the upcoming AEW Battle of the Belts TNT special on Saturday, January 8th, from the Bojangles Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina. The event will be the first of 4 of the new series of specials AEW will hold throughout next year, following the move of AEW Dynamite from TNT to TBS. AEW will remain on TNT for their weekly show Rampage, as well as the quarterly pay-per-view level events that will be held on the network, similar to WCW's Clash of Champions events. And finally, WrestleMania 38 is drawing closer, with WWE now looking ahead to their biggest event of the year. According to a report from WrestleVotes, their biggest event is set to feature arguably the biggest star in company history, with talks in place to bring back Stone Cold Steve Austin. In April, Mania is set to be held from Dallas, Texas, which is of course the home state of the Rattlesnake, with the city formerly being the home to the Dallas Sportatorium, a venue synonymous with Austin's early career in world-class championship wrestling. WrestleVotes would take to Twitter to reveal that WWE are interested in bringing Stone Cold in for a big part in the event, something that will be more than simply an appearance, and they would say, "Talked to a few different sources this weekend and heard the same thing. WWE is very interested in having Steve Austin as part of WrestleMania this year in Dallas. Not in a wrestling role, but in a meaningful part of the event outside of just appearing. Up to creative at this point." Austin's last WWE appearance came back in March of 2020, where he appeared on the free 16-day edition of Monday Night Raw, taking part in a segment with Byron Saxton in front of no crowd. This was their second show of the pandemic era. The last time we saw Steve Austin in front of an arena full of fans was in 2019 on the September 9th edition of Raw at Madison Square Garden for a contract signing between Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. He would then be interrupted by AJ Styles, who he dropped with a Stone Cold Stunner. It will be interesting to see what's in store for Austin at Mania next year, with him perhaps appearing as a manager, a special referee, or perhaps an enforcer for one of the matches. And if you want to see Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania 38, give me a hell yeah in the comments down below. And before you go, make sure you check out 10 shocking WWE to AEW signings that we need to see.